Hello and welcome to PlayStation Access. My name's Rob, and I'm guessing you're here because you're the proud owner of a PlayStation 5. Whether you've recently joined the PS5 family or have owned one since launch, I guarantee there's a bunch of clever features your console can do that you don't know about. And that's where this video comes in. We've scoured every menu and tweaked every setting, digging out tips that will make your PS5 experience even smoother and more accessible. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell if you find this video helpful, and leave your own tips in the comments if you know any not on this list. Here we go then. 39 things you didn't know your PS5 could do. Starting with number 1, you can set up your PS5 so game updates and system software updates happen automatically while the console is in rest mode. First, head to Settings, System, Power Saving, and then Features Available in Rest Mode. Make sure Stay Connected to the Internet is turned on. This opens the door for your PS5 to do loads of clever stuff while in rest mode. For automatic downloads, head to Settings, System, System Software, and then System Software Update and Settings. Turn on both Download Update Files Automatically and Install Update Files Automatically. For games, head to Settings, Save Data and Game App Settings, and then Automatic Updates. Turn on Auto Download or Auto Install in Rest Mode, and you're all set. Your PS5 will be ready to play whenever you are. Which leads us to number 2, one of those clever things the door is now open to. You can play your PS5 from a PC or Mac using Remote Play. On your PS5 home screen, go to Settings, System, Remote Play, and then turn on Enable Remote Play. Then download, install, and launch the PlayStation Remote Play app on your PC or Mac. Sign into your PSN account, and you'll be able to connect to your PS5 automatically. Now you can game even while someone else is using the TV. Check out PlayStation.com for full remote play instructions. Number 3, another clever rest mode thing you can do is remotely download games to your PS5 using the PlayStation app on your PC or mobile device. So you can buy a game on your lunch break and have it downloaded and ready to play by the time you get home. Speaking of installing games, number 4, with compatible games, your PS5 is capable of selective installs, which means you can decide which part of a game you want to download and play first, or perhaps at all. Installing Uncharted 4 and saving the Lost Legacy until later, for example, or getting stuck into multiplayer without grabbing the entire campaign. All of which helps to save time and hard drive space. Number 5, returning briefly to rest mode, you can also customize how long your PS5 remains active until it enters rest mode by going to Settings, System, Power Saving, and then Set Time until PS5 enters rest mode. You can set different times for when you're playing games or watching videos. And bonus fact, in the same menu you can set the time until your controllers automatically turn off to save them using battery charge while you're watching TV or movies. And extra bonus, if you want to turn a controller off without going into the menus at all, you can hold the PS button down for 10 seconds. Number 6, one of my favourite PS5 features, you can adjust preferences for things like game difficulty and whether or not you prefer an inverted camera, so they automatically apply across everything you play. Within Settings, head to Save Data and Game App Settings and then Game Presets. Here you can customise difficulty, whether or not you want your games to favour performance or resolution mode, choose between inverted and non-inverted camera options, and also tweak subtitle and language options. Once set, your choices will automatically apply to your games without you having to dive into options menus every time. Super handy. Also within saved data and game app settings is tip 7, the spoiler warnings feature. Turn on warn about game spoilers, and any PS5 game content, for example screenshots or videos shared by your friends that are from beyond where you have played, will either be labelled or hidden completely. You're welcome. Number 8, you can control your PS5 with your voice. In the settings menu, go down to voice command and then turn on enable voice command. You can now say, "Hey PlayStation," followed by various commands your PS5 will pick up through the built-in mic on the DualSense wireless controller. Speaking of innovative ways to control your PS5, number 9 is that in certain games you can jump back into specific missions or areas using the activity card. Press the PS button to bring up the control center, and at the top you will see various cards, including activity cards related to specific games and what you were doing when you last played them. To jump straight back in, select the activity and then press resume. And sticking with cards, they can also play a helpful role in trophy hunting. Our number 10 tip is that compatible games track progress towards specific trophies, saving you the hassle of scribbling notes or updating your platinum spreadsheet with a handy percentage figure you can find by looking through the trophy list. And even when the game you're playing doesn't have this feature, you can always pin up to 5 trophies manually to your trophies card using this option, so that they're easy to check and reference while you're playing the game. On the subject of trophies, number 11, no hidden trophy is truly hidden. Pressing square will reveal any secret information either here on the trophy card or by selecting a trophy individually on the trophy menu. Great if you're stumped on your way to 100%ing a game or just, curious. Though be aware, most hidden trophies are protecting a spoiler or clever gameplay surprise. And finally for trophies, a little bit of tidying with number 12, which helps with those pesky trophy list entries sitting at 0%. Maybe you tried the game on a trial, borrowed it and gave it back, or maybe you were just completely rubbish at it. Either way, you can remove the evidence forever and clean up your trophy list in the process by simply pressing options on the game in question and selecting delete. Tip 13 is PS5's wishlist function. Sometimes thinking about what game you'd like to play next is almost as fun as actually playing the games you currently own. While browsing the store, you can add PS4 and PS5 games to your wishlist by selecting the game itself, then finding the option either here on the title page or in the extra options here. You can view all the items on your wish list through the heart icon at the top of the store menu. And best of all, as long as you have push notifications enabled here on your PS5 or PS app, PlayStation will tell you any time a wish-listed game gets that price drop you've been waiting for. Number 14, if you're more interested in taking stock of your current games than eyeing up new ones, then PS5 can tell you how long you've spent playing your collection. Head to your user profile and slide over to the Games tab, and there you will find a summary of trophies collected and total hours played. You can even sort your list by most played if you want to gawp at the titles that you couldn't possibly have actually spent that long playing, surely. Not with a job and friends and everything. Moving on to some facts more about the PS5 itself, number 15 is that underneath its removable cover, the console features these 2 openings designed to catch dust moved around by the system's fan. You can easily and safely vacuum the dust from these openings to help keep your PS5 running smoothly and quietly. And number 16, the fact that these covers are removable leads on to the fact that you can replace them with a range of alternative official colours and designs, which have cool names like Midnight Black, Cosmic Red and Galactic Purple. More customization is possible thanks to number 17, the ability to install an additional SSD to boost your PS5's storage capacity. This is separate from the ability to use an external drive for storage or to play PS4 games. This slot on the PS5 provides space for the extra SSD, and while they're simple to install yourself, make sure you check that you are using an M.2 SSD that meets the specifications as laid out on PlayStation.com. We have a link in the description. Moving on to 18, while you probably know you can capture screenshots and video using the Create button on PS5, you can also edit your game footage using PS5's Share Factory Studio. This app is free to use and you can find it with a quick search. It's a pretty powerful editing tool packed with professional-grade features that enables you to create videos from your collection of game captures and also to import videos, music and sound effects to use in your edits. More recently, the app added Bits, a new set of tools including templates, stickers and overlays designed for creating shorter social videos, which can then be accessed automatically on your mobile PS app and shared to social media. Number 19. On the subject of game capture, if you're using the PlayStation app, then you can enable auto upload here in Settings, Captures and Broadcast. Manually created screenshots and video clips under 3 minutes and under 4K resolution are then uploaded and available through the app for 14 days after you create them. And in this same menu screen, number 20, there are also a few customization options worth a look. You can tinker with the button mapping for the Create button, switching the functions associated with a single, double and long press, along with the length of the video clip quick-saved using the Create button. And here you can also choose the format used for video recording. WebM is the best for saving space, but MP4 might be better for using on other apps and programs. We're staying in the settings menu for tip 21, although we are heading into the sounds category. Here you can see options to calibrate 3D audio for headphones, and the cool bit is that you can do this with whatever headphones you normally use. You don't need a special headset. Once enabled, you can choose between 5 different profiles of 3D audio setup, each virtually projecting sound at different heights, and then use the handy listen and compare function to make sure you prefer 3D over regular stereo. We definitely do. For number 22, we're sticking with audio options, but we're heading to the accessibility section of the settings menu. There are various options to customize your general player experience here to make PS5 as accessible and comfortable to use as possible. And following on from 3D audio, first we'd like to highlight that in the display and sound section, so long as you have headphones connected, you'll see the option to enable mono audio for headphones, which plays the same sound through both sides of your headset. A little higher in the same menu you can find number 23, which is the ability to alter the readability of text that PS5 displays in menus and on the store. The text size can be changed from the default standard to either small, large or very large, and just below that in the menu is the option to enable bold text. For number 24, just below display and sound in the accessibility menu, you can turn on PS5's screen reader. This reads text from the menus and interface out loud as you navigate through them, providing spoken guidance for operating the console. And lastly, from the accessibility options, number 25, in the controllers section, it's possible to customize the intensity of both the DualSense wireless controller's vibration and trigger effects, enabling you to fine-tune your haptic experience to your needs. Changing the subject entirely, tip number 26 is that it's possible to adjust the volume level of individual party members. Perfect if you're playing with a group of friends and one of them is eating crisps down the microphone. Press the PlayStation button on your DualSense wireless controller to bring up the control center, navigate to Game Base and select the party you're currently in, and you'll see a list of everyone in your party. Select an individual with X and you'll get this menu where you can adjust their volume level or mute them altogether. Or if you're fed up of the party chat and indeed all sound coming from your PS5, number 27, you can hold the mic button on your DualSense wireless controller to mute all audio at once and to mute your own mic. Very handy if a real-world conversation suddenly needs your attention, or you just want everyone to be quiet, please. You can turn it all back on again with a single press of the same button. On the subject of things being nice and quiet, heading to Settings, Sound, and then Audio Output reveals tip 28, the ability to disable both the home screen music and the PS5 menu sound effects, which makes navigating the UI feel like some kind of stealth mission. Number 29, continuing the theme of taking charge of your PS5 UI, is the ability to make game lists, basically folders, to help you organize your games. To do this, navigate to the game library, then head into your collection. From here, you can either make a game list using the icon on the left side of the screen, or select games individually by pressing Options, then Add to Game List. You can choose which list the selected games will be added to, or you'll be prompted to name and create a list if this is your first time. Once created, your game lists will be easy to find at the top of the Your Collection tab. A relatively recent addition for tip 30, and that's the ability to enter and play tournaments through PS5 for supported games. You'll find the tournaments in the Game Hub for the title in question, clearly labelled amongst all the other activity cards. If you meet the eligibility criteria, including age and location, you can register with the press of a button, then join at the indicated match time. Tournaments are scheduled regularly to make them as accessible as possible, with notifications and cards to guide you through the process. You can invite friends to take up vacant slots in the tournament, especially since there are rewards on offer, with prizes ranging from cash, in-game currency, and even PlayStation consoles and accessories. A general but very handy hint for number 31, and that's the fact you can use the triangle button as a shortcut to jump straight to the search function while on the home screen or browsing the store, to save you from heading up and over with the D-pad. Similarly, you can use L1 and R1 as shortcut buttons to switch between tabs in various bits of the PS5 UI, between games and media on the home screen, between the different sections of the store or Plus catalogue, and the different bits of your game library. Number 32 is a simple but powerful function: console sharing and offline play. You'll be prompted about this when you first set up your PS5, and you can find the option in Settings, Users and Accounts, Other, Console Sharing and Offline Play. With this enabled, anyone using your console can access your games and even play online if you have a Plus membership, all while signed in on their own account. You'll also be able to access all of your purchased games and media while your console is offline, although note that you can only enable console sharing and offline play on a single PS5. If console sharing is of interest because other family members also use your PS5, then tip number 33, family and parental controls, might also be of interest. These offer various ways to restrict particular functions on your PS5, ensuring that children, siblings or other users are only able to access appropriate content. You can find this in the Settings menu, where PS5 console restrictions lets you set top-line age limits for various functions which apply to any new users and guests. And for a more tailored setup, you can head into Family Management in the same menu and create individual accounts which you can then give, for example, different age limits to suit different family members. A simpler proposition for entry 34, which is the ability to turn your TV on and your PS5 off automatically using HDMI device link. You can find the option for this in Settings, System, HDMI, where there are two options. One Touch Play will turn on compatible devices and switch the input to PS5, and Power Link will put your PS5 into rest mode when you turn off your TV. This is all supposing you have a relatively modern TV with CEC, that's Consumer Electronics Control functionality. Tip 35. While a DualSense wireless controller is required to play PS5 games on PS5, it is possible to use a DualShock 4 to play PS4 games running through backwards compatibility. Handy if, say, you're playing local multiplayer and have yet to pick up a second DualSense. Speaking of controllers, our entry number 36 is the fact you can customize the button mapping on your DualSense wireless controller. Head to Settings, Accessories, Controller, then down to Controllers, and you'll find the options to switch left and right sticks and to remap all button functions. While this is designed with accessibility in mind, it might also be useful if a game you're playing doesn't offer quite the customization level you're looking for. Continuing with customization at number 37 is the ability to decide which notifications, if any, you'd like to see while using PS5 and when. Head to the notifications section of the settings menu and you can tinker with the shape of your notifications. Do they pop up, display a preview, play a sound, and what kind you see during which activity. So you can make sure nothing interrupts you watching a movie, for instance, but still be on the lookout for invites while you're playing games. Similarly, for number 38, you can also customize your control center to make sure you have quick access to the shortcuts you use most often and don't see those you never need. To do this, just open the control center with the press of the PlayStation button, move down the control icons, and then press Options. From here, you can select each icon, shuffle its position in the control center row, and, for most of them, shift it to the hidden section if you don't use it very often, though be aware that some can only be shuffled, not hidden. And finally, number 39. For those times you just want to curl up by yourself with a single player game, or if you're pulling a sickie, you can appear offline to all your friends while still being connected to the internet and enjoying all the benefits that entails. Simply select your profile icon in the top right of the PS5 home screen and hit Appear Offline. You can now play to your heart's content without anyone knowing you're there, which is what I'm off to do right now. Thank you very much. And there you have it, 39 things you probably didn't know your PS5 could do. Let us know how many of these were news to you in the comments. Give us a like if we've told you something useful, and please tell us your own tips and tricks so this video becomes an all-conquering fountain of PS5 knowledge. Happy gaming, everyone. We'll catch you again soon.
PlayStation